And so he told me, and this, you know, something very concrete, I spoke with Herman before. He asked me, is there anybody in Italy or in Europe who can help us, the trade union, to think about credible plans for alternative and sustainable production? We don't need discourse. We don't need ideological speeches. We need concrete plans. We can provide you the kind of factory, how many workers, what they produce, and we need somebody who can tell us what we can do, what else we can do, if there is any kind of possibility. So I will not add anything more, but I think that we need to think together and to manage the challenge of how we can reconciliate work, the right of work, the right of survival, and the right of well-being even without work, the dignity and right of work, the survival, the well-being of people, economy and ecology. And I think that this is the most fundamental challenge we have. And we have no written Bible. We have to start writing something. We don't need any kind of a Bible anymore, but we need some plans, we need some path. But we need to start proposing something very concrete to the workers which are on the roof in my country. And you know, the crisis in which we are living, in Europe we are speaking only about the economic crisis. But for example, in the framework of the World Social Forum, where we speak, when we work together with people coming from all other parts of the world, we speak about a complex of multiple crises. We have an economic crisis, we have an ecological crisis, we have an energetical crisis, we have a social crisis. For example, all over the world there is a big food crisis. And in Europe mainly, we have a big political and moral crisis, even a moral crisis. Together with Latin American people, people from Africa, indigenous people, and some of us Europeans, and of course this is an invitation for all of you, if you are interested to be part of it, we have created a sort of laboratory to think about this crisis of hegemonic civilization. We spent a lot of time to find the name. At the end, the name we were able to find was this one. We are facing a crisis of hegemonic civilization because of the old model of the human civilization won during the history, because all the history is done by different models which tried to win, and all the winning model which brought us here and now shows that this civilization is not sustainable. And climate change, for the first time in human history, obliged us to face the risk of the extinction of human beings from the planet. This is something very new. Even in the left, we always, I remember when I was younger and I was very radical, and my older friend told me, you have not to run too much. Change needs a lot of time, because we need to build up consensus. We need to conquer the mind of people. So, okay, this time will produce, of course, a lot of suffering, but at the end, change will arrive. But now, do we have this time? This change completely our possibility to think. This change completely. We have really to rethink, because we have to run. For the first to run, but we have to run in a good way, because to run without any kind of result is not so useful, no? And of course, this is a crisis of capitalism, of course, which only 20, but even 10 years ago, no, was going to promise happiness for everybody, you know very well, in this country. And it is, of course, the crisis of neoliberal globalization and of financiarization of the economy. But I think that it's also something bigger. It's the crisis of industrialism. It's a crisis of productivism, which have been also the base of all the leftist models. Communism, socialism, the Italian communism, social democracy, all of them were based on industrialism and productivism. Even our social rights in Europe, which are so important for us, which are an example for other societies outside Europe, and which we are defending so much, and which were the product of the fight, of the blood, of the killing, of the suffering of all our parents' generation. Even then, they came from a redistribution of richness built upon robbery and exploitation of humanity in the South, and exploitation and robbery of nature. Even the leftist culture had no the sense of limit. It was based on an idea of an endless development, aimed to affirm the human domination on nature. As much as we would be able to dominate nature, as much we would produce happiness for human beings. This is our history. It's inside our genetic code, inside my genetic code. I don't know, perhaps some of you it's a real alternative, but the big majority of us, I think, is like me. And the leftist culture was based on the beside the capitalistic culture, but also our culture was based on the principle of property. Property, collective, of the state, common, not individual, regulated, of commodities and common goods. And only the women movement was able to put on the table the concept of taking care, which, for example, in the indigenous culture, in many indigenous cultures, is the alternative of property. They don't have the concept of property, they take care. Take care, which means that the present time and the present generation has the only role to keep common goods, well-being, social, cultural, material goods, common goods from the past, and to give them to the future generation. It's a completely different approach than property, because if I am the owner of something, I can do what I want. I can even destroy it. This is what we are doing. And our leftist culture too was based on statalism, aimed to produce a vertical, hierarchic homologation of local identities, native culture, minorities, traditional knowledge, considered in general as a whole as regressive and conservative.